What's the crack, everyone? It's Ollie from B2B Sports here. Oleksandr Usyk defeats Tyson Fury by split decision. Usyk now becomes the unified heavyweight champion and he still remains undefeated. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, suffers his first loss of his career. It was a tense bout, lots of feints, lots of jabs, and one huge left hand from Usyk. But before I delve into all my thoughts and opinions, I'd really appreciate it if you give my channel a subscription and give this vid a thumbs up. It would mean a hell of a lot. Right, third time lucky of this fight happening. I think it was originally meant to be scheduled for December, then for around February time, and then pushed back to May. Most recently after Fury suffered that heavy cut to his eye. I thought that scarring might play a little bit of a factor in this fight, but Usyk still targeted Fury with that massive left hand and rocked him in the 9th, but we'll get onto that in a little minute. There was a lot of pressure around this fight. One fighter's O had to go, unification on the line. There was a lot of nasty things said in the build-up between Fury and Usyk's camp. Big John Fury with the headbutt in fight week. Can we just go back to when Fury fought in America where John Fury was banned? It just seemed like a much better time, and Fury's probably best performances have come when his dad wasn't there. So there was a lot of noise around this fight, a lot of distractions. I think people just wanted this fight to get going and get underway. 25 years since the last unification bout with Lennox Lewis. The two ring walks completely showed the personalities of the two fighters. Usyk came in very stoic, very traditional, whereas Fury came in with a smile on his face, dancing away, hiding all signs of nerves ahead of the biggest fight of his life. Now it's fair to say Usyk started the better out of the two fighters, putting the pressure on Fury with his footwork and changing of the levels. I don't think this is uncharacteristic of Fury. Fury tends to start a little bit slower in the majority of his fights as he tries to figure out opponents and gauge the distance. Fury looked slow and he was susceptible to that long left hand that caught him once or twice on the chin. But from around round 3 onwards, Fury began to find his stride, get that distance, get the measure of Usyk, get that jab going, and he really started to dominate the fight from that point. Usyk looked a little bit lost, a little bit confused at some of the shots that Fury was throwing. Fury's very unorthodox, throwing shots from all angles. Fury caught Usyk a couple of times with a body shot, which was definitely part of the Fury plan, considering what happened in the Daniel Dubois fight with that illegal low blow shot. So Tyson worked the body well and he was showing his dominance, and he looked physically massive in comparison to Usyk at that point in the fight, bearing down that big huge 6'9" frame on Usyk, who isn't a small man himself. I think Usyk's around 6'3", but the size comparison between the two at that point seemed astronomical. Usyk didn't really seem to have an answer, and through that early to middle part of the fight, Fury really took over. There was one moment where Fury had Usyk rocked, had him stunned, and there was a chance to potentially capitalise on that. Fury took his time, was patient, and allowed Usyk to get back into the fight, and in hindsight he should have put the pressure on Usyk and tried to end it there and then. But Usyk got his legs underneath him. I think his cut man did a great job to keep that swelling and that cut down on his right eye. I'd say from around round 7 onwards, Usyk started to find his feet, started to get the footwork going again, changing of the levels, and in round 9 Usyk caught Fury with a violent left hook straight on the chin. Fury was completely utterly stunned. In fact, he was out cold on his feet. He was stumbling all over the place, bouncing off the ropes. I have no idea how he stayed on his feet. As he was stumbling around, he was taking left and right hooks. His legs were completely gone. The ref jumped in and potentially saved Fury from a KO defeat right then and there. Tyson barely survives a 10 count and then the round ends. Dramatic scenes, and I've seen a whole range of opinions on this round 9 incident. I purely think the ref let that go on just a tad longer just because of the magnitude of the fight. He wanted to give Fury every single opportunity to try and get his legs back underneath him, to try and give the fans a good fight. Whether that's fair or not, I don't know. Maybe the ref is taking into consideration how quickly Tyson's recovered from the devastating blows of Deontay Wilder, but it seemed like the ref hung on just a little bit longer than you would usually see. And in boxing, it's the ref's rules. The ref dictates the pace. The ref dictates what fight the fight is going to be. As a boxing fan that's been waiting months and months for this fight, I'm glad the referee made the decision that he did. I'm glad the fight went on, gave Fury the benefit of the doubt, and he allowed the fight to go on to the championship rounds. The next few rounds were basically a breather for Fury, trying to get his legs back underneath him, trying to get his head back into the fight, basically allowing Usyk to control the pace as we headed into the championship rounds, there didn't seem much urgency from Fury's camp, maybe assuming he was a little bit more ahead on the scorecard than he actually was. There also seemed to be quite a lot of noise in the Fury corner in between rounds, people talking over each other, Big John Fury sticking his neck in, barking orders, while Sugar Hill was trying to give instructions. It just seemed a little bit messy in comparison to Usyk's side. The relentless pressure from Usyk didn't let Tyson Fury breathe in the last round. Both fighters landing shots, but nothing significant. Tyson probably really needed a big shot or a 10-8 round at that point to clinch a win or push it to a draw. But whether that brutal beating in round 9 was just taking it out of him, or whether his team hadn't given him the right messaging, he just wasn't ruthless enough in that last round for me. Final bell rings. What a magnificent fight that was. Great bout. It ebbed and flowed. Both fighters had pivotal moments, but in the end, Usyk was just a little bit too much for Fury. That constant pace, that constant pressure, not letting Fury breathe probably was just the tipping point. Fury had moments, he had bright spots, he could have won the fight himself. It was a very, very close bout. It wasn't a landslide to either fighter. Fury did more of the damage in the first half of the fight. Usyk put on the pressure with those devastating blows in the second half of the fight. Both fighters put on a great show. Fury isn't washed by any means. He put on a great performance, a much better performance than Anthony Joshua did, in my opinion. You know, Usyk just danced around Anthony Joshua for 12 rounds and it was totally convincing. This wasn't so much. A tight fight, a very close fight, but Usyk was the better man on the day. The Ukrainian is now the worthy unified heavyweight champion. He's still undefeated and one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. There were some comments to be made about Tyson Fury's post-fight presser in the ring, saying the judges favoured Usyk because his country is currently at war. You know, boxing has come under lots of criticism over the years for potential max fixing, corruption, but this was not the case. There was no rigged fight here. Usyk was the better man on the day, and obviously you had the Anthony Joshua scenario last time round when he took his defeat to Usyk pretty badly in the centre of the ring. Similar to Joshua's incident, I don't read too much into it. Fury could be showing potential signs of concussion, and he did say Happy New Year at the end of the interview, which just seemed completely and utterly bizarre. So in my opinion, it was wrong of him to say, but I don't look too much into it. The rematch clause was put into the original fight contract, and it's now up to Tyson Fury to activate that. He said in the ring he would like that rematch in around October time. I would love to see the rematch personally. I'd like to see how both fighters adapt. You know, would Fury really tighten up his defence? Would he trim down his team to remove some of his family that could potentially cause him distractions? Will Usyk continue to push the pace? It's a super intriguing matchup and it's one that I'd love to see again. The reports after the fight that Usyk broke his jaw, which could potentially have a knock-on effect for that October date. Would I entertain a Fury AJ in the meantime? Hell yeah, of course I would. But first and foremost, I would love to see that rematch if possible. But in the end, Usyk, a deserved winner, the better man on the day, a close fight. I'll probably have it 114, 113 to Usyk in the end. But as a boxing fan, I'm very happy. I'm happy this fight happened and it was a great fight all round. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the fight. Was Usyk the deserved winner in your opinion? And how do you see the rematch going down? But cheers for watching and listening everyone, and peace out.